I will be doing a quick tank review for the Soviet Tier 5 heavy tank, the kv-1s. What much you know about the vehicle? The kv-1s, it is a lighter yet faster version of the kv-1 at a Tier 5. The downside to this vehicle is that with it being lighter, the the armor it is not as thick, so you can die a little bit more easier. If you angle the vehicle armor just right, you can still ricochet rounds still. This tank I have a mixed opinion on. The kv-1s it is better yet worse version of the kv-1 at Tier 5. Let's get to the stats of the kv-1s now. The kv-1s, when it is fully upgraded, you will have 660 hit points, which is decent enough. You can take a few hits before you are killed. This vehicle can weigh potentially up to 48.2 tons. My setup allow me a total of 44.25 tons, which will give me a decent enough horsepower to ton ratio with the 600 horsepower engine. My horsepower to ton ratio it is 13.56 horsepower to 1 ton. That horsepower to ton ratio will allow me to reach the top speed at times when I am on flat terrain or going downhill only. The vehicle hold traverse it is decent enough, 30 degrees. The armor, this is where the vehicle is good and bad at the same time. For the most part, the vehicle armor, when it comes to the hull, it is quite good if you know how to angle it right. If you play the kv-1 well enough, then you can play the kv-1s good as well. The vehicle hull armor it shares all of the same weak parts, just like the kv-1. Machine gun port, driver hatch, lower plate, and if you do have the height advantage, you can hit the commander's point here and the hatch as well. The vehicle armor in the front it is 75 millimeters, but if you angle it just right at times, you can bounce certain TL6 and below guns at times. The vehicle side armor it is 60. It can be penned with ease. Watch out for the engine. The engine can be set on fire easily enough. Rear it is 60, which can be penned with ease. The turret armor, most of the armor it is in the gun mantlet itself. So if a gun hit the gun mantlet, it will most likely ricochet off unless if the gun can overpen it. The turret armor in the front it is 82 millimeters. One weak part of the vehicle it is the cupola here and the observation points. This cupola, if you are facing it face to face, just aim at the cupola and you will pen it most of the time. Also the top of the tank here, it is a weak part as well. Side, it is 82 millimeters, which can be penned easily enough. Rear, 82 millimeters. But if you are shooting it from the rear, just shoot the machine gun part here or the cupola here. I am using the 85 millimeter gun right now. In the replays I will be showing you, I will show you how you can use the 85mm gun and the 122mm gun well enough. The 85mm gun, I actually prefer it more. This is a high rate of fire gun with a decent pen and okay damage. The accuracy could be better though. I generally find the 85mm gun, it is quite good if you can get up close and personal. Most vehicles, if you get to their side and rear, you can pen them easily enough. The gun depression for this vehicle, it is bad. 4 degrees downward, and the gun elevation upward, it is 15. You will have problems with that when you are using the tank. This tank, it is not a good hill fighter at all. In my replays, I had a gun depression problem at times, so pay attention to that. The turret traverse, it is decent enough, 28 degrees. Keep a eye out for vehicles that can easily flank you, because if they are flanking you and doing a circle of death, you can be killed easily enough. The vehicle view range, it is decent enough, 340 meters. When you add in a binocular telescope and crew perks on top, you can easily have 450 meters of view range. The radio for this tank, it is 440 meters, which is terrible. The Russian radios do not get better until you are in the higher tiers. Let's get to the research part of the tank now. The research for the kv-1, it is a straightforward grind. The first pair of tracks, you can use this and mount all of the equipment onto the tank without going over the tank load limit. I would recommend that you get the top pair of tracks for the increased haul traverse from 28 to 30. You will be using the first engine, a 500 horsepower engine with a 15% chance of engine fire, until you get the second engine upgrade. The second engine, it is a 600 horsepower engine with the same chance of engine fire. The top engine, I would recommend that you research it, because it is used on other vehicles as well. You will have the best horsepower to 2-ton ratio with this engine mounted. The 9R, the 10R, and the 10RK radio, you should have had researched them, all of them, on previous vehicles that uses it. The 10RK radio, if you did not research it on the kv-1, research it on this tank, because you are going to be using it on other vehicles as well. This 10RK radio, it is the best radio the tank have to use. The radio for the Soviet tank line does not get that better until you get into the higher tiers. The turrets, for the most part, they have the same stats, the same armor, the same turret traverse. The only difference between these two turrets is the view range, 320 up to 340 for the top turret, also the hit points. The top turret, you will need to research and mount this. research and mount this if you want to use the 122 millimeter howitzer. The 122 millimeter howitzer, it's a good gun if you know how to use it right and having a good game with it. The only gun that you have to research on the tank to get to the kv-85, or formerly known as the kv-1s at tier 6. It is just the gun here. You have 3 guns to use on the tank. The 76 millimeter gun, this is decent enough. The 76 millimeter and the 85 millimeter gun have the same stats very much. For the most part, the 85 millimeter gun, it is better when it comes to damage and pen. It is also a little bit more accurate. The only downside from the 76 millimeter gun to the 85, you will have a decrease in rate of fire, and the aiming time it is longer with the 85. The 85 millimeter gun, as long as you can fire and get your rounds to penetrate and hit, you can inflict a good amount of damage with this gun. Most of the time, I generally find the 85 millimeter gun, it is more reliable when it comes to penning and hitting a tank, unlike the 122 millimeter howitzer. Also to point out, the 85 millimeter gun, it is used on 3 tanks only, the kv-3, T-150, and the kv-1s. This howitzer here, it is used on the kv-1s only. This howitzer, it is just like the same gun based on the kv-1. You have a decent enough rate of fire, low pen, but the damage it is quite high. The accuracy and the aiming time, it is terrible. If you are planning to use the howitzer, I would recommend that you use the 122 millimeter gun up close and personal. The 122 millimeter gun, it is a fun derp gun to use if you want to use it. I generally find the 85 millimeter gun, it is good at medium to long range. You can snipe with this gun if you must, but the accuracy is bad at .42. The kv-85, when you do get to it and have it fully upgraded, it is a good tank as well. Let's cover the pros and cons now. The pros and cons. As a tier 5 tank, you can get yourself into a tier 7 match. I generally find that the kv-1s, it is a good front line heavy tank, a good support tank, and also as a flanking tank as well. What is good about the kv-1? The kv-1s, it is just like the kv-1. So there is not much of a learning curve if you just came from the kv-1. This vehicle, it is a fun tier 5 heavy tank to use if you know how to use it right. The vehicle armor, it is good enough still, so you can ricochet tier 6 tank gun still if you know how to angle the hull and turret armor. Now to the cons of the tank. This vehicle have a lot of the same weak parts, just like the kv-1, so watch out for that. And the second con, which I find it to be a major point of the tank, It is the gun depression 4 degrees downward, while the gun elevation upward it is 15. You will have a problem aiming and shooting at tanks if you are on rocky terrain, uneven terrain. You have to be on flat terrain or mostly flat to make use of the gun and the bad gun depression itself. In my replays, I have gun depression issues at times, so watch out for that. Let's cover the equipment, ammo, and the consumables you will be using on the tank. The consumables. I would use a first aid kit to treat crew member injuries, especially the driver. I find the driver it is knocked out the most. A repair kit to repair module damage, and a fire extinguisher to put out engine fires. I find the kv-1s it is set on fire easily enough. This vehicle carries a good amount of ammo, 55 rounds. The majority of the rounds I put it into armor piercing and a PCR. The AP and a PCR do the same damage, but there's a pen difference. Armor piercing, most of the time if you hit a thinly armored part of the vehicle, you can pen it most of the time. So I would put the majority of the ammo into that ammo type. I would have some APCR on you just in case if you have a problem penning a well-armored vehicle. APCR will cost you 2,800 gold credits. 2,800 credits or 7 gold. I would carry some HG on the tank just in case if you are going to be shooting at a thinly armored target or just want to reset cap. The equipment that would go well onto the kv-1s. A gun rammer to decrease the loading time. Vents to improve the tank and the crew performance by 5%. Toolbox. You can use a heavy spall liner if you want to. A enhanced gunning drive, it is not that bad of an idea. If you want to increase your view range, go with coated optics or binocular telescopes. I have some replays to show you how to use the kv-1 properly. In 2 of the 3 replays, I will be using the 85mm gun, and in the other one, I will be using the 122mm gun to show you how both of these guns are quite good to use as long as you know how to use them. Let's get to those replays now. This replay, I am in a tier 5 match to show you how good you can do in the kv-1s with the 85mm gun when you are top tier. Let's speed up the replay to the front line. This map, it is not a good map for this tank. It's very hilly, so using my gun depression is going to be a problem on maps like this. Well, now I am flanking the BDR, shooting at it and getting to the other side of the hill here. that the W2 and the T14 shoot at me. I am using the hill here as cover. Artillery hit me, but did 0 damage. I don't want to go out by myself unless if I have help. Having the kv-1 to my side, I am flanking this T14. Seeing the kv-1 behind me is helping. The enemy base, it is open to us, which is a good thing. Most of the enemy team, it is on the right side or the middle of the map somewhere. For a second, I stayed there to see if I could shoot the Cheeto, the Cheehy, from the side of the map I was on. This artillery, I tried to aim at it. I got in a hit there. I am trying to blind fire at this PD-14. Unfortunately, the Wolverine got that kill. This artillery here, I'm trying to hit a thin part of the vehicle, knowing it have no armor whatsoever. I must have had ricocheted off of its gun mantlet or something. That artillery could have had one shot at me with HE rounds. This kv-1s, I lined up my shots to hit the side of the vehicle. For the rest of the match, we won by capping. I did not too bad when it came to damage done in this match. I did about 1050 damage, which is decent enough with the 85mm gun. Let's go to the next replay. This replay, I am using the 122mm howitzer on the kv-1s. Let us speed up the replay a bit. I first began to head to the city area. This howitzer, if you're going to be using it, you have to get up close and personal to do your damage. At long distances, this howitzer, it is quite bad, having the accuracy of .58. You may hit the target once in a while if you're aiming at medium to long distance, but most of the time you're going to miss. So, using this gun as a frontline gun is quite important. I did not cover the ammo type for the vehicle. For the howitzer, I would generally use HE most of the time and save heat for the vehicles that I need to make sure my round is going to pen, or just want to make sure my round it is going to overpen and kill the tank. Heat also does a bit more damage, I think. I set that T20 on fire there. That howitzer does magic at times. You can inflict large amount of damage like that within a short amount of time. I am using the train as extra armor when I was moving by. I'm checking my surrounding to make sure I am not being hit by vehicles on the other side of the city. I am doing a dance around the VK there, missing a shot. Let me speed up the replay a bit. That was a good example of teamwork in the city there. This Luch, I killed it while it was moving. I generally find the 122mm gun. You can have fun games like these. I tried hitting the Jackson from where I was. I missed. I sit back, hoping that the Jackson would come up on my radar, but no. We lost this game due to capping. I did okay in this match. I did about 1100 damage, which is decent enough using the howitzer. Let's go to the next replay now. This match, I am in a tier 6 match using the 85mm gun on the tank. Let's get to the front line. First thing that I noticed when the match began, the BT-7 and the cruiser at a tier 3, they're platooned up with the Churchill 1. I find it funny that people do not understand how platoon and matchmaking worked that time. Me and the group behind me are doing a 1-2 line push. I am using this rock here as cover. This PD4, I'm trying to get another shot on it before it fell backwards. I rushed that shot, had the feeling that the archer was shooting at me. I poke out and rushed that shot. Here I wait for my backup to arrive. I got hit and I poked out there. The Churchill there, I am aiming at their turret, knowing that I can hit the vehicle armor there. I finally finished that Churchill off, hitting the front of the turret there. I poke forward very carefully, knowing that the T1 is shooting at me. My team behind me finished it off. I advanced forward, seeing the VK3001H is down, and the flak bus. Right there, I had gun depression issues. The Cheeto tried petting my armor. That second shot went through and finished me off. This match I did quite well. I did about 1,600 damage, which is pretty good for a 85mm gun. Let's go to the garage now. Let's do a brief recap on the kv-1s. The kv-1s, it is a average tank. This is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The two guns which I find to be most reliable on the kv-1s, it is the 85mm gun. As long as you can make use of the rate of fire, the pen, and damage, you can inflict a lot of damage within a match. The 122mm howitzer, this is a good gun to use still if you like using a howitzer and inflicting a lot of damage with heat and HE rounds. The kv-1s, once you have gotten used to the vehicle strengths, weaknesses, and how to use it right, it is a fun tank to use. I hope that you learn a thing or two about the kv-1s and how to use it properly. If you like my video, follow my channel or leave a comment as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.